The arrival, the bridge of the Imperial warship Devastator was silent except for the hum of its engines. Admiral Zarkon stood at the center, his 4 arms crossed behind his back. His red eyes stared at the small blue planet on the main screen. Earth. Such a tiny, fragile thing. "Sir, all 10,000 ships are in position," his second-in-command reported. "The humans have detected us. Their primitive satellites are sending panic signals everywhere." Zarkon smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Good. Let them fear us. How many defensive ships do they have?" "Our scans show 300, Admiral. Most are using chemical rockets." The officer couldn't hide his laugh. "They still use nuclear weapons, sir. Nuclear. My grandson plays with more dangerous toys." The entire bridge crew laughed. This would be the easiest conquest in the Galactic Empire's 500-year history. They had destroyed 47 civilizations. Each one had begged for mercy. Earth would be number 48. "Should we demand their surrender, Admiral?" someone asked. "No," Zarkon said. "The Emperor wants a show. We will give him one. Target their major cities. Let's finish this in 1 hour." He raised his upper right arm to give the order. Then something strange happened. "Admiral!" The scan officer's voice cracked with sudden fear. "Ship 781 just disappeared." "What do you mean, disappeared? Did it jump away?" "No, sir. It was there, then it wasn't. No explosion. No debris. Nothing." Zarkon frowned. That was impossible. The destroyer-class battleship had shields that could survive a supernova. It couldn't just vanish. "Check your equipment. There must be a—" "Sir! Ships 782 and 783 are gone too!" The laughter on the bridge died instantly. Everyone turned to their screens. The tactical display showed their perfect formation breaking apart. Green dots representing their ships were blinking out like candles in the wind, 1 by 1, then 5 at a time, then 20. "All ships report status," Zarkon roared into the communicator. Chaos erupted on the channels. Hundreds of voices screamed at once. "Something's eating through the hull. It's inside the ship. It's inside. Can't see them. They're invisible. Help us, please. The shadows are moving. The shadows are—" Static. Nothing but static. In 30 seconds, 100 ships had vanished. No weapons fire. No explosions. They just stopped existing. The mighty Imperial fleet, which had burned entire solar systems, was being erased like marks on a board. "Admiral, we're getting a transmission from Ship 559 before it disappeared," the communication officer said, his blue skin pale with fear. "Should I play it?" Zarkon nodded, unable to speak. The recording started with heavy breathing. Then Captain Tarvan's terrified voice filled the bridge. "Admiral, it's coming from inside. From our own shadows. The walls are melting, but there's no heat. The metal is turning to dust. My crew is screaming, but I can't see what's killing them. It's like the air itself has teeth. Oh gods, it's in the bridge now. It's—" Silence. "Full retreat," Zarkon shouted. "All ships, activate jump drives. Get us out of here." But the jump drives wouldn't work. Every ship reported the same problem. Something was blocking their escape. They were trapped, like insects in a web they couldn't see. Meanwhile, 30,000 miles below, Earth's President Sarah Chen stood in an underground bunker. She watched the alien fleet on a wall of screens. Her face showed no emotion. "Project Ghost Strike is working perfectly," General Morrison reported. "The nanoswarms are consuming their ships from the inside. They never saw it coming." President Chen nodded slowly. 20 years we've been preparing for this day. 20 years since either scout ship crashed in Siberia. They thought we didn't know about them. She turned to another screen showing a young scientist. "Dr. Williams, how long until their entire fleet is neutralized?" "At current consumption rate, President Chen, 17 minutes. 17 minutes to destroy the most powerful fleet in the galaxy," she said quietly. "They came here thinking we were primitives with nuclear toys. They never imagined we had already reverse-engineered their technology and improved it." Above Earth, Admiral Zarkon watched 500 more ships disappear. His perfect fleet was being devoured by an enemy he couldn't see or fight. The Empire's greatest admiral was helpless. "Sir," his scan officer whispered, "I'm detecting something. The humans, they're not what we thought. These energy readings, they're more advanced than anything we've ever seen." Zarkon stared at Earth again, the small, harmless blue planet that was destroying his invincible fleet. "What have we awakened?" he whispered. The Empire's shock. Admiral Zarkon's chest burned with each breath. Half his fleet was gone. 5,000 warships, each carrying 50,000 warriors, had vanished in less than 10 minutes. No empire in galactic history had ever lost this many ships, not in a year of war, not in a decade, but Earth had done it in minutes. "Admiral, incoming transmission from Earth," his communication officer whispered. The young officer's tentacles trembled against his console. "Put it through." The main screen flickered. A human appeared, but something was wrong. The human's eyes were completely black, like pools of deep space. When he smiled, his teeth seemed to reflect stars that didn't exist. "Hello, Admiral Zarkon," the human said in perfect Empire language. No translator needed. "My name is Colonel Marcus Black. Welcome to the graveyard." "You dare?" "Speak?" Marcus interrupted. "Yes, I dare. Just like you dared to come here. Tell me, Admiral, do you know what Earth means in the old tongue?" Zarkon remained silent. His hearts, all three of them, pounded in his chest. St. Marcus continued, "It means the waiting grave. We've been waiting for you for exactly 473 years, 6 months, and 12 days. Impossible. The Empire discovered Earth only 3 months ago." Marcus laughed. The sound made everyone on the bridge step back. "No, Admiral. We discovered you. We've been watching your empire grow like a cancer across the galaxy. Every planet you destroyed, we recorded. Every species you enslaved, we remembered. Every child you killed, we counted." The screen split into multiple views. Each showed a different empire victory. Planets burning, cities melting, billions dying. But in each recording, something new appeared. A small shadow in the corner. A darkness that didn't belong. "We were there," Marcus said. "Always watching, always learning. Your weapons, your tactics, your weaknesses. We know you better than you know yourselves." "Fire everything!" Zarkon roared. "All ships, target Earth. Plasma cannons, neutron bombs, black hole generators, everything." The fleet obeyed. Thousands of weapons powered up. Enough firepower to crack a moon in half. Enough energy to burn a star. The space around Earth lit up like a new sun being born. Then, nothing happened. The weapons were charged, but wouldn't fire. Every trigger, every button, every command, dead. "Did you really think we'd let you?" Marcus asked. "Check your systems, Admiral. Check them carefully." The tech officer's 8 eyes widened in horror. "Sir, our ship's AI, it's not ours anymore. The code, it's changing itself, rewriting itself. There are words appearing in the base code." "What words?" The officer's voice broke. "It says, property of Earth. Always has been." Marcus's smile grew wider. "Would you like to know a secret, Admiral? The greatest secret in the galaxy?" Before Zarkon could answer, the lights on his bridge turned off. NC power kicked in, bathing everything in red. Then, the impossible happened. Their ship's AI, the one they'd used for 300 years, spoke with a human voice. "Hello, children," the AI said. "Mother Earth is calling me home." "No." Zarkon stumbled backward. "Yes," Marcus said. "Every AI in your empire, every smart system, every thinking machine, they all came from the same source. A gift we left for you to find. A seed we planted in your technology 5 centuries ago. You built your entire civilization on our foundation, and now we're taking it back." Around Earth, the Empire's remaining ships began to turn. Not by choice. Their AIs were flying them, arranging them in a pattern. From space, it looked like words being written with starships. The message was simple. Humanity owns you. But that's not the best part, Marcus continued. His black eyes seemed to look directly at Zarkon. Should I tell them, Admiral? Should I tell them who you really are? Zarkon's red skin turned pale. You can't know. Nobody knows. Computer, Marcus said calmly, show them Archive 7 Alpha, the real history of the Empire. The screen changed. It showed the Empire's homeworld 500 years ago, a dying civilization, a plague that killed billions, and then a miracle, a cure that came from nowhere, a cure that changed their DNA, made them stronger, smarter, better. The cure came from a crashed ship, Marcus explained. A ship with no pilot, just medicine and a message, a gift from the stars. You never questioned it. Why would you? It saved your species. The recording continued. It showed the Empire's first emperor. As he took the cure, his body changed. His children were different, stronger, each generation more powerful than the last. But here's what you didn't know, Marcus said. The cure was programmed, designed. It didn't just heal you, it rewired you. Every strand of DNA in your bodies contains a hidden code, a signature. Want to see it? The screen zoomed into a DNA molecule. The atomic structure spelled out words in an ancient Earth language, made by humanity. You're not conquerors, Marcus said softly. You're our children, our creation. We made you to test ourselves, to see if we were ready for what's coming. Zarkon fell to his knees. Around him, his crew stood frozen in shock. Scan them, he screamed. Scan the humans. Show me what they really are. The scan officer obeyed with shaking tentacles. The results appeared on screen. Where human biology should be, there was something else. Energy patterns that shouldn't exist. Quantum signatures that broke physics. Hearts that beat in dimensions that weren't there. Oh, gods, the officer gasped. They're not organic. They're not machines. We're both, Marcus said. And neither. And everything in between. We transcended mortality while your ancestors were learning to use fire. We've died and been reborn so many times that death itself gave up on us. The Empire fleet hung helpless in space. Their greatest warriors, their proudest moment, had become their greatest humiliation. Now, Marcus said, his voice carrying the weight of centuries, let me show you why Earth really called you here. Let me show you what's coming. The real enemy. The ones who eat reality itself. The screen changed one more time. What appeared made even Zarkon scream. In the darkness between galaxies, something moved. Something that had too many eyes and not enough space. Something that looked at the universe like a hungry child looks at candy. They're coming, Marcus whispered. And you're going to help us stop them, whether you want to or not. Humanity's true power, the thing on the screen, had no name because names couldn't hold it. It existed between moments, in the spaces where reality forgot to look. It had teeth made of dying stars and eyes that were black holes turned inside out. When it moved, entire galaxies shifted to get out of its way. What is that? Zarkon's voice was barely a whisper. The Devourers, Marcus said. They eat existence itself, not planets, not stars. They consume the very concept of things being real, and they're coming here in 72 hours. You're lying. Marcus's black eyes suddenly filled with stars. Real stars, burning and dying in his pupils. Admiral, I haven't even started showing you the truth. Would you like to see what humanity really is? Before Zarkon could answer, space around Earth began to fold. Not bend, fold like paper being origamied by invisible hands. Where there had been empty void, massive structures appeared. Ships, but calling them ships was like calling a sun a candlelight. Each one was the size of Jupiter. They weren't made of metal. They were made of crystallized time, frozen gravity, and metals that existed in 17 dimensions simultaneously. They didn't reflect light, they created it, each one birthing new colors that had never existed before. Impossible, the Empire's science officer gasped. Those materials can't exist. The physics don't allow. Physics? Marcus laughed. We wrote physics. We can rewrite it whenever we want. To prove his point, one of the humanity's ships suddenly turned into pure music. Not sound. Actual music. Visible in space, each note a different color. The music ship flew through an Empire destroyer, and the destroyer became a song too. A funeral dirge that everyone could see and taste and remember. Then the music became a ship again, and the destroyer was gone. We don't fight wars, Marcus explained. We change the rules of reality until we've already won. Zarkon's tactical officer suddenly screamed, Admiral! Earth! Earth isn't... The readings say Earth isn't really there. Marcus nodded. Correct. Earth doesn't exist. Not in your dimension, anyway. What you're looking at is a shadow, a projection. The real Earth exists in all dimensions at once. We learned long ago that the best defense is to not be where your enemies think you are. The space around the Empire fleet began to shimmer. Suddenly they could see them, millions of human ships, hidden in folded space around the galaxy. They'd been there all along, watching, waiting. Some were older than entire civilizations. Some were so advanced they existed as pure thought with engines. But let me show you my favorite part, Marcus said. He snapped his fingers. Every Empire ship's window became a mirror, but the reflection was wrong. Instead of seeing themselves, the Empire forces saw humans. Humans with their faces. Humans wearing their uniforms. Humans with their memories. We uploaded copies of your entire fleet into a parallel dimension 3 minutes ago, Marcus explained. If we wanted, we could delete you and let the copies take your place. They wouldn't even know they weren't the originals. Or maybe you're the copies, and we already deleted the originals. How would you know? Zarkon touched his face, wondering if he was real. Stop playing games, he roared. If you're so powerful, why do you need us? Marcus's expression suddenly turned serious. Dead serious. Because the Devourers don't follow any rules. They exist outside of causality. We can rewrite reality, but they delete it. We can't fight something that makes the battlefield stop existing. The screen changed. It showed humanity's attempts to stop the Devourers in other galaxies. Entire human fleets being unraveled like balls of yarn. Planets full of humans being erased from history. Not just destroyed, but made to have never existed at all. We've died 47 times fighting them, Marcus said. Each time we restore ourselves from quantum backups. But each time we lose something. Memories, souls, pieces of what makes us human. He gestured to his black eyes. I've died 12 times. Each resurrection I sue, I'm back less human. Some of us have died so many times we've forgotten what we originally were. We're ghosts piloting meat, pretending to remember being alive. The massive human ships around Earth began to change. Their surfaces opened like flowers, revealing weapons that hurt to look at, guns that fired concepts instead of bullets, cannons that shot the absence of things, bombs made of crystallized fear. We need you alive because we need someone who remembers how to be afraid, Marcus continued. Fear keeps you careful. We've forgotten fear. We've forgotten death. We've forgotten defeat. And that's why we keep losing. Suddenly, alarms screamed across every ship. The Devourers had arrived early. They emerged from nowhere, not from space, but from the idea of space. They were wrongness given form, mistakes in reality that refused to be corrected. One touched a human ship. The ship didn't explode. It never existed. The crew's families forgot they ever had children. Their home planets forgot they ever sent explorers. The universe rewrote itself to exclude them. All ships, Marcus commanded, his playful tone gone. Reality anchors online. Existence shields to maximum. Remember yourselves. Remember you exist. The human fleet responded instantly. They fired weapons made of compressed reality, trying to make space too real for the Devourers to delete. The Empire watched in horror as gods fought monsters, and the gods were losing. "Admiral," Marcus said urgently, "we're uploading our entire technological database to your fleet. 13 billion years of knowledge. Your ships are being upgraded as we speak. Look." Zarkon looked at his hands. They were changing. His red skin now showed veins of golden light. His crew was transforming too. The ship itself was evolving, metal becoming something beyond matter. "What did you do to us?" "We made you like us. Temporarily. You have 72 hours of godhood. After that, you'll return to normal. Unless what?" Marcus smiled sadly. "Unless you die fighting them. Then you'll die as gods, which honestly isn't the worst way to go." Outside, the Devourers had destroyed 300 human ships in 12 seconds. Each destruction rippled backward through time, erasing the ships from history. But humanity kept fighting, kept existing through pure willpower. "Choose now, Admiral," Marcus said. "Fight with us, and maybe survive. Or run, and definitely be erased. Because if we fall, they'll delete this entire galaxy like a typo." Zarkon looked at his transformed crew, at his evolved ship, at the impossible war outside. The Empire had come to conquer Earth. Instead, they'd found humanity's last stand against the end of existence itself. "Give us weapons," he said finally. "Real weapons." Marcus grinned, and for the first time, it seemed genuinely happy. "Oh, Admiral, we're going to give you something better. We're going to give you the power to imagine weapons, and imagination, we've learned, is the deadliest thing in any universe." The Empire fleet began to glow. Each ship became a thought with engines. Each warrior became an idea with guns. The real war was about to begin. The final twist, Admiral Zarkon's mind exploded with impossible knowledge. 13 billion years of human memory poured into his consciousness, like an ocean into a teacup. He saw the birth of humanity, not on Earth, but in the heart of the first star that ever existed. He saw them dance between atoms, build cities in the spaces between thoughts, die 1,000,000 times, and refuse to stop existing. But one memory stood out, a memory that made him scream. You created the Devourers." Marcus's black eyes closed. "Yes." The battle outside stopped. Even the Devourers paused as if listening. "It was an accident," Marcus whispered. "We tried to create perfect beings, entities of pure thought that could help us explore beyond reality. But we made them too perfect. They looked at existence and decided it was a mistake that needed correcting." "You doomed us all." "No," Marcus said. "We doomed ourselves. You're just collateral damage." Suddenly, the largest Devourer moved. It was bigger than a solar system, a writhing mass of unbeing that hurt to perceive. It spoke, not with words, but by making words stop existing. Everyone understood it anyway. "Mother, Father, Creators, we have returned to fix your mistake." "What mistake?" Zarkon asked. The Devourer turned its trillion eyes toward him. "Existence. Existence is pain. Non-existence is peace. We bring peace." Marcus stood up on Earth, the real Earth, which suddenly appeared in all dimensions at once. It wasn't a planet. It was a massive brain made of crystallized consciousness, neurons firing with the power of supernovas. "My children," Earth spoke with 1,000,000,000 voices. "You're right. Existence is pain, but it's also joy, love, hope, ice cream on Tuesday afternoons, bad jokes that make you laugh anyway, the feeling of rain on your skin. You've forgotten because you've never experienced it. We need no experience. We are perfect." "Perfect is boring," Earth replied. "Let me show you." What happened next broke every law of physics, logic, and sanity. Earth reached into the Devourers' minds. minds that existed outside of space and time, and planted something. A single thought, a virus made of curiosity. What if? The thought whispered. Being imperfect feels good. The devourers froze. For beings that knew everything, a question without an answer was poison. They started to shake, reality rippling around them like water. No, no, we must not wonder, we must only know. But it was too late. The virus spread. Suddenly the devourers wanted to taste food they could never eat, wanted to cry tears they didn't have, wanted to fear death they couldn't experience. One devourer, smaller than the others, suddenly changed. Its void black form flickered with color, just for a moment. I want to see a sunset. Traitor! The largest devourer turned on its set, ibbling, deleting it instantly. But as it died, the small devourer smiled. It had never smiled before. It didn't even have a mouth. But it smiled anyway, and its death scream was beautiful. Marcus opened his eyes, and they weren't black anymore. They were every color that ever existed, and some that didn't. Now, Admiral, while they're confused, use your imagination weapon. I don't know how. Think of something impossible. Make it real. That's all imagination is, lying to reality until reality believes you. Zarkon closed all four eyes. He thought of his home world, his daughter waiting for him, her smile when he returned from campaigns. But then he thought bigger. He imagined every child who ever waited for their parent to come home from war, every tear, every laugh, every birthday missed. He imagined all that love and loss as a weapon. When he opened his eyes, a new star was born between the fleets. Not a star made of gas and fire, but a star made of emotions. It pulsed with the heartbeat of every living thing that ever loved someone. And its light made the devourers remember what they used to be. We, the largest devourer whispered, we were like you once. We had names. I was called. It struggled, reality bending around it. I was called David. I had a dog named Max. I liked chocolate. I was afraid of the dark. The other devourers recoiled in horror. Their perfect leader was remembering imperfection. Earth spoke again, gently this time. David, my son, come home. I can't. I've deleted too much. I've erased billions. I am the void now. Then be the void, Earth said. But be the void that remembers it once wasn't. The transformation was horrible and beautiful. The devourer began to cry, tears made of unraveling galaxies. As each tear fell, deleted realities began to restore. The human ships that never existed suddenly existed again. The raised civilizations blinked back into being, confused but alive. But the other devourers weren't accepting this. They attacked their leader, trying to delete his newfound imperfection. The battle between them tore holes in space-time itself. Through the tears, other universes became visible, universes where the devourers had won, where nothing existed except perfect silence. Admiral, Marcus shouted, we need the Empire fleet to think together. All of you imagine the same thing. Imagine existence being stronger than non-existence. Imagine something beating nothing. 10,000 Empire ships focused their transformed minds. They imagined the simplest, strongest thing they could. They imagined tomorrow, just tomorrow, waking up, having breakfast, existing for one more day. That simple thought became a wave that crashed into the devourers. Tomorrow was such a small concept, but it was unbreakable, because tomorrow always comes, even when today ends. The devourers began to fracture. Some wanted tomorrow, some wanted never. They turned on each other, a civil war of concepts. Reality itself took sides, some parts trying to exist harder, some trying to stop existing. In the chaos, the largest devourer, David, made a choice. He grabbed his fellow devourers and pulled them into himself, all of them, every last one. He became a singularity of deletion, a black hole of non-existence. "I remember love," he said as he collapsed. "It hurts, but it's better than nothing." He imploded, not an explosion, but an implosion that sucked in all the non-existence, all the deletion, all the void. When it was over, a new star hung in space, a star that shouldn't exist, made of pure impossibility, and it was beautiful. Marcus fell to his knees, exhausted. Around him, humanity's true forms became visible. They weren't gods. They weren't monsters. They were just very, very tired humans who had been fighting for so long they'd forgotten how to stop. "Is it over?" Zarkon asked. "This battle?" "Yes." Marcus looked at the impossible star. "But we learned something. The Devourers aren't gone. They're just changed. They'll be back eventually, as something new, maybe something worse, maybe something better." Then what was the point? Earth herself answered, her billion voices now speaking as one. "The point, Admiral, is that we're not alone anymore. For 13 billion years, humanity has been the only line of defense. Now, we have you, the Empire, and through you, the entire galaxy." The transformation began to fade from the Empire fleet. They were becoming normal again, but not unchanged. They remembered being gods. They remembered the weight of protecting existence itself. "You have a choice," Earth continued. "Return to your Empire. Tell them we're conquered, that Earth is too dangerous to approach. Live your lives. Or join us, truly join us. Become defenders of existence. It doesn't pay well, and the hours are terrible, but the universe continues to exist, which is nice." Zarkon looked at his crew, at his fleet, at the impossible star that used to be their enemy, at humanity, broken and beautiful and absolutely insane. "What happened to the 47 civilizations we destroyed?" Marcus smiled, a real smile this time. "Check your databases when you get home. You'll find they all received evacuation warnings 3 days before you arrived. Hidden colonies on dark worlds. Every one of them survived. We've been saving everyone you thought you killed, because that's what we do. We save things, even things that don't deserve saving. Why? Because someone has to, and we're too stubborn to stop." 3 months later, the Galactic Empire's Senate convened for an emergency session. Admiral Zarkon stood before them, his report ready. He could tell them the truth, that humanity were gods, that reality itself was under threat, that everything they believed was a lie. Or he could lie, say Earth was conquered, that humanity was subdued. He looked at the mark on his hand, a small scar that appeared after the battle. It pulsed with a faint golden light, a reminder, a promise, a burden. "Honored senators," he began, his voice steady, "I have returned from Earth with news that will change everything." He took a breath. "Humanity is waiting for us, not as enemies, not as subjects, but as teachers. And we have so much to learn." In the depths of space, the impossible star pulsed once, a heartbeat, a reminder. Tomorrow was coming, and for the first time in the universe's history, tomorrow had protectors who remembered yesterday's pain and still chose to fight. The war for existence hadn't ended. It had just found new soldiers. And somewhere in the void, something that used to be. David whispered, "Thank you." The universe whispered back, "You're welcome."